What is going on, everyone? So today I'm going to talk to you about the steps that I took when I was looking to buy my truck. What I bought was a 2008 F450. So these are some of the simple steps that you can do to help weed out the good ones from the bad ones.
Once you found a truck that you feel is the right price point with the right mileage, the day you're going to the dealership, just go ahead and call ahead to verify that the truck is still there. Know pretty quickly if you're going to like the truck or not. You got to trust your gut on this one. When you're at the truck, the first thing you should do is ask the salesman for the keys. Once you're at the truck, take a look at it kind of like a bird's eye view. Walk around it, make sure there's anything that kind of stands out in your eye. If the paint looks good or if the tires are worn, that kind of stuff, and just start taking mental notes of things that are wrong with the truck. For example, my truck right here, passenger side, my clear coat on my fender is fading. That actually is not fading, it's chipping, it's almost gone. So that's something that I noted when I first walked it. And then the next thing you need to do is actually look at the body gaps. Do they look uniform? Now, you're not gonna be able to tell by looking at them. You actually have to run your finger down the gap to see if it pinches or loosens, and do that for every body gap. That's how you're gonna know if the truck's been in an accident or not. So once you verified all that's good, next we gotta start looking at the mechanical. So let's go ahead and get this hood. It's very simple. Go to the latch, pull on it, and then the hood release on these trucks are on the passenger side at the grill. So there's a little lever underneath here. You gotta pull up and then you can pull open the hood. So now you got the hood open, and what you're looking for is wet spots. You want to make sure that nothing in here is actually wet from oil. And also another big thing is to make sure that the engine is ice cold when you do this, because engines like to hide their problems when they're cold. So you want to get down in there and take a look at everything. Take a look at the valve cover gasket, take a look at the turbo, look at this, take a look at the batteries, see if there's anything that's wet that shouldn't be wet. Take a look at your tubes, make sure that your rubber is still pliable and not hard, because if it's hard, it'll break. Make sure to be able to squeeze everything nice, and just take a general look at everything. So I can tell I got no exhaust leaks down there, I don't have any turbo leak or turbo oil leak. Nothing underneath here is really catching my eye in the negative way. Radiator's always going to look a little beat up just because, 10 to 12 years old, driving down the road. Depending on the mileage, it's going to be a little more, a little less. My truck currently has 74,000. I bought it 64,000. And once you see everything under the hood looks good, go ahead and leave the hood open. While you are looking under the hood, you want to check both dipsticks. You want to check the trans, which should be on the passenger side. You want to pull it out and make sure that the oil is either clear or slightly brown. If it's really brown, that means the oil's never been changed. So that is pretty clear transmission fluid in this one. And then another crucial thing you want to check on the oil is you're not really looking for dirtiness of it, because diesel oil is incredibly dirty really fast. So looking at the dirtiness of it, it's not going to give you a clear indication. You're looking for two things. One, you're looking for level. Is the oil enough level in there? And two, which I've actually seen this on a truck that I was going to buy, was coolant on it. So if you take a look at the dipstick, you'll actually see a little green level or a little green line, and that's indication of coolant in the oil, which means blown or cracked head gasket. Therefore, don't even bother starting the truck, just walk away. Now we're underneath the truck. I'm actually underneath the driver's side. Things to look for when you're under here: any wet spots. So the oil pan right there is not concerning due to I just did an oil change. But where the engine meets the transmission, is that wet? That's just kind of normal road grinds. I got something seeping, maybe. Then at my transmission pan, I got something going on right there. That's actually new. But you want to take a look and make sure there's nothing really dripping. Also take a look behind the tires, make sure everything looks good back there.
and take a look at your pinion seals to make sure there's nothing leaking. That's the front, and then there's the rear. Also want to take a look at your transfer case connection point, make sure nothing is leaking out of that. You want to wiggle the drive shafts, make sure there's no big play in it. A little play is going to happen just due to that's the nature of it, but it shouldn't bounce up and down or make a clunk noise. Same with the rear drive shaft. So since these drive shafts are a little bit longer, there is a carrier bearing, which is that right there. I want to make sure the back side of the drive shaft doesn't look wet. So I got something flinging up here. Nothing too concerning. Make sure the carrier bearing is good. Again, wiggling the drive shaft, making sure nothing's there. And then take a look at the exhaust system. So my truck is not deleted. That's what a DPF looks like. And if it's been deleted, you'll have a straight pipe from right there to back there. And that's how you're able to tell if it's deleted. And also by the sound. They sound a lot more open and free when they are deleted. Another thing you want to look for is, again, the rubber. So here's a body mount. This one is in good condition. I got my straps from my tank. They are not rusted out. Once you've gone under here and really taken a look at everything and make sure that you're okay with it, next is to go to the inside and take a look at that. To take a look at the inside, one thing to do is take a look at the condition of the seats. Make sure they are in good condition. Usually trucks will have rip and tears right here. Unfortunately, that mine does not have that much seat wear on it. Also check the back seats. I do have a dog cover on, but if we take it off, the back seats are in pretty good condition. And the dog scratch marks, but that actually comes out when I buff it. Make sure the seats actually work. There's a little lever on the side right here, and you can pull them forward, and you can actually have some storage. That's where I keep that arch oil. So take a look at the general condition of the seats, see if there's any rips, tears, stretch marks. Carpet, see if the carpet's all ripped up or scuffed up. You know, underneath it's in pretty good condition. Back of the seats, they're not all beat up, they're not kicked up down here. Now that you're officially in the driver's seat for the first time, this is why you ask for the keys in the beginning from the salesman, because you want to make sure that the dashboard actually lights up as it needs to. So you cycle it on, make sure all the lights light up. You might have to do it 1 or 2 times, and then go ahead and start the truck. While the truck's initially started, make sure the hood's open, and then come out to the back exhaust pipe and make sure that nothing is actually coming out. What you're looking for is 2 things. Either blue smoke or white smoke, and if the truck's been deleted, there might be a little puff of black smoke. That's okay. But if you have white smoke or blue smoke coming out, that's not good. Blue smoke is oil, white smoke is coolant. And while the truck's running, go ahead and take a look at underside and make sure there's no weird ticks, rattles, or squeaks. This is pretty much how it's supposed to sound like. Truck warm up a little bit, just kind of do another walk around. Take a look underneath it to make sure there's no oil leaks coming out, because sometimes when things are under pressure, they might start leaking oil. Do not see anything from there. The truck's running, you might as well go through the systems checks. Make sure all the windows go down as they need to, mirrors fold as they need to, and if they extend, make sure that they extend as far as they need to, and then make sure that the mirrors themselves actually work. So if you move it around, that they both work on both sides. And then check all the door locks. So the best way to do that is to lock it, look at the door, unlock. That one works. And do that procedure 4 times. You know, all that's how you know everything's working. Depending on the temperature outside, the heat is not going to come on as quick, so you actually have to run the truck a little bit. But make sure the heated seats work, the blower works. And then another thing with these trucks is that the blower door actuator. So this is a little $20 part that has a real pain to change, and what that does is changes the air where it comes out of. So we want to make sure that works. So now it's coming out of the front vent. So Once you verified all those work, four-wheel drive, we're gonna test in a little bit. So while the trucks, so one neat little feature that these trucks have, if you hit setup and then reset, it'll run through a system check. So you tell how many hours, charging system, air filter, complete doors, brake system, and then your full range. Go ahead and give it a drive and listen to the truck and see what it's doing. So it clicked into gear as it needed to, which is good. And then make sure the steering wheel turns nice and smooth. There's no like spots in it where it gets really rough. Brakes stop it as needed to. The gears, make sure they shift smooth and crisply. So it's right back in. Steering wheel has no issue. 6.4 turbos whistle a little bit when they're cold. You can kind of hear that. I don't know if that mic will be able to pick that up, but they do whistle when they're nice and cold. And then as soon as they warm up, they stop whistling. It's kind of depressing. All nice and warmed up. Make sure there's no cops around. Go ahead and give it to the floor. It should build about 30 psi and should fly through the gears pretty smoothly. And then do a hard brake. Make sure the truck brakes straight and nice and true. And that would give you a good indication of if the transmission's going, it would kind of have a hard shift, and then if the brakes were going, it would either vibrate or pull to the right or the left. Another thing to check for is alignment and tire balancing. So tire balancing, the truck may ride a little rough at first. Depending on how long it was sitting on the dealership's lot, it could have a little flat spots in its tires, but it should level out pretty quick. Maybe after 5 to 10 minutes of driving, they should go away. And then alignment, if the truck is pulling hard right or hard left. Remember, when during the test drives, you're trying to find everything wrong with the truck so that when you go to negotiation for the price, you are getting yourself a good deal. Once you're done with the test drive, the last thing to check for is the four-wheel drive. What I like to do is I put the truck in neutral, click the 4 high button, see the light come on, give it a second, and then drop it into gear. Now you know if it's in 4 high because the steering wheel will be a little hard to turn. You don't want to crank it too hard because you're on flat ground. But once you know it's in, go ahead and turn it out, put it to 4 low. And then you really know if it's in 4 low because the truck will be geared. Like I'm standing on the brakes hard right now, and the truck's in 4 low. You can tell I'm only going like a half mile an hour. So then go ahead, put it back in neutral. 4 high, off. You can actually hear the pump going, so diesels don't produce any back pressure, so they have a little vacuum pump to actually disengage four-wheel drive. Another way you can tell is if actually your air conditioning doesn't work. That's also a sign of the vacuum pump going. Put it in reverse. I usually do this just to make sure that it's out. And then that's it. All right, now you're done looking at the truck. You got your list of items that are wrong with it. Now it's time to negotiate. This is when the salesman is going to start to sweat because you're going to bring up these items that could be potentially wrong and you want some money off of it. That's totally normal. I mean, that's what they're used to. But remember, salesmen work for you. You don't work for them. And buying a truck is more than just about the truck. It's the deal made with the truck. So if the truck is nice, but the deal is not, then it's not the truck. There will be a better one out there that you're going to be 100% satisfied with. So hope you guys like this video. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.